As the media landscape continues to shift, that's putting it lightly, digital content creators are rapidly gaining ground, now projected to overtake traditional media with advertising revenue. Joining us today is Karen Sutherland from the University of the Sunshine Coast. Good to see you. Why are advertisers turning to these individual creators over those legacy platforms?
I think their audiences are just huge, and I think they're very targeted as well in the people that they're trying to reach. I think now more traditional media are scrambling to try and restructure what they've been doing for decades to really fit in with how this landscape has changed.
Yeah. Do you think brands are getting more value, perhaps reach from influencers? The reach seems pretty obvious, but that value add, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. It depends on the audience, of course. So the brand must have really aligned with an influencer who has the audience that they're going after. And I think it's because it's not doing that sort of direct brand to audience and to consumer process. It's actually going through an influencer or a content creator and getting that endorsement as well. And I think that adds to its attractiveness to these target audiences.
Are there any risks, do you think, that brands are facing when working aside content creators and the like?
Always, because people are involved. Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes I guess the brief may not land properly with the influencer, and they may not do what the brand wants them to do, or the influencer may do something that causes a bit of backlash, and they're cancelled, and that reflects badly on the brand. So there are definite risks around that for sure.
Okay, that's an interesting one, and no doubt will be here to stay. We've seen the rise of these TikTokers and whatnot absolutely skyrocket. Let's jump over to our next topic. Travellers are turning away from social media and influencers instead of using generative AI to plan their next adventure. This marks a major shift in how people discover the destinations that they want to go to. And Karen Sutherland from the University of the Sunshine Coast, why are travellers shifting from social media to generative AI?
I think it's because it provides a really personalised output for them, and they're also not inundated with advertising at this stage in AI's game. So it means that they can go in and use the search function in different AI platforms like ChatGPT or Google Gemini, Perplexity, to really craft an itinerary based on their budget and where they're going and their time, and it can go off and actually find these places. At this stage, once AI agents actually progress, the AI agents will be able to do all the bookings and everything for them too. So imagine that, it's almost having your own AI-powered travel agent.
I'm now worried about the poor travel brands. What should they be thinking about and perhaps responding to this change? Perhaps they could, I don't know, get on board with all of this.
Oh, for sure. And I think working out how you can use AI to really amplify what you're doing, of course, is important. But there's still a lot of fear around the use of AI, and there's still a lot of people who aren't using it in that way or a bit scared around using it. So I think travel agents will have their place, but maybe they need to become the authority on how to use AI for travel. That would really position them in quite a lucrative space if they can own that space and teach people how to use it. Yeah, but it is really helpful. I did a workshop with baby boomers, that's what they call themselves, at the workshop, and I was just showing them how to use AI, and many of them just naturally, I didn't suggest using it for travel, but that's exactly what they went to. They started planning out trips to Japan and all sorts of places around the world using ChatGPT.
Yeah, okay, so it sounds pretty good, and I imagine it's quite clever, especially as these GPT models get to know you personally in some form or another. But what are the risks or perhaps the downsides of relying on AI for travel inspiration? Is there any?
It still gets things wrong. So you need to really check that the information that it's giving you is legitimate, going to those websites and making sure that those websites are credible as well, where they're getting the information from. Because imagine if you set up your whole itinerary and planned your whole holiday around this and it was incorrect if you've never been there before. So yes, you still need to be that human in the loop and not rely 100% on what the AI is giving you.
Yeah, there's an element of that. You look at the photographs of a hotel or somewhere fun, and then you get there and it's dilapidated and a little bit run down. You're like, ah, dear, we booked this for 3 weeks. But do you think this trend could impact tourism in certain destinations? There are technologically advanced cities and things like that. I'm thinking of Tokyo and things like that. But places more rurally, things like that.
It really is going to depend on the digital presence of those places for the AI to be able to pick them up. And the history is probably there, but the current day events, like they'll need to make sure they have a strong presence online so that they can be included in these sorts of search results and outputs from AI.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting shift. We will no doubt keep a close eye on it. Dr. Karen Sutherland, thank you for your time as always.